Michael Rainford from newtohtml.com, and in this tutorial we'll be covering HTML basics. We'll be looking at how you go about creating your first HTML document, the important tags of an HTML document, and saving that document for a web browser. Now the first and most important thing when creating an HTML document is that you need a simple text editor such as Notepad, and of course there's others like Notepad++. For this tutorial and this video we'll be using Notepad, but in future tutorials you will note that I use Notepad++. In order to access Notepad in Windows, you go to the Start menu, and there it is. It's in my shortcuts, but of course if it's not there for you, you go to All Programs, Accessories, and then Notepad. Now there's a set of important tags when creating an HTML document. The first and most important one is the HTML tag. The HTML tag defines your HTML document. The other important tags is the head tag and the body tag. Within the head tag there is the title tag, and we'll discuss this and demonstrate it soon. So these tags are the important tags of an HTML document, and everyone you create from now on should contain them as much as possible. One important thing to note is that each tag you open should be closed. So you'll note that the HTML tag has an opening and it also has a close. So does the head tag, the title tag, as well as the body tag. To close a tag, you put back the name of that tag with a / in front of it. So we'll show you how to save that HTML document. You go to File, Save As. Now I'm saving this HTML document to my desktop, but you can save it to anywhere you like. You can create a folder, you can change the location, whatever you so desire. We'll enter a name for my HTML document. We'll call it test, and this is very important. You must include the extension to tell that it's an HTML document. And because it's an HTML document and not a text file, we also change the type to all files. Now let's go to the desktop. There is the HTML file that was just created, named test.html. You notice that it comes up as the Google Chrome browser. Whatever browser is your default, you will display as such. You can right click, you can change open with, and you can choose a number of different browsers to open with. Now let's open up this HTML document, and here it is in our browser. Of course it's not defined as yet. There is no title tag, there is no body, there is nothing much in it as yet, and we'll do that right now. So we go back to our text document. Now let's demonstrate the title tag. We'll enter some text and save it. Go back to our test. You'll note that the title is displayed at the top of the browser window. Whichever browser you use, you should see this as well. Now we'll enter something within the body of our HTML document. The body contains text, links, images, tables, whatever you want to put in there, and this will be the main area of your HTML document. So another important tag you'll be using quite often is the paragraph tag. We'll save this and demonstrate it. Here you'll note that placing some text between the paragraph tags now places something within our body, and thus when we go to our web page we see what we just wrote in. Now there are other tags which you will also come across, such as the center tag, which centers text, and you'll also come across the font tag, which you can apply some different properties to, such as the color and size. So what this is saying is that we want the color of our text to be blue, and we also want the size of that text to be 5. So any text placed between the font tags will be rendered with the properties specified. It's also important for you to know that some of the tags are depreciated in the latest HTML standards like HTML 4.01 strict. The center tag and the font tag is depreciated in that standard. But for now, you don't really have to worry about depreciation, and you will come across that in future tutorials. So if we go back to the web browser and we press F5 to refresh our web page, we'll see that the font is now displayed with a size of 5, and the color is also blue. The text is also centered, which was specified by our center tag. So that covers an introduction to HTML and what you actually need to know to start coding. In future videos, we'll be discussing things like images, links, forms, and all that lovely stuff, and how to incorporate it into your website. Before this video tutorial ends, I'd like to go through one more thing. It's a common question that beginners love to ask when coding, and that is, how do I make multiple copies of a web page? Well, to do that, you can do one of two things. You can either go to File, Save As, and change the name of this file to something else. So instead of test, you could have test2, or if it was a page, you could write page2, whatever you want. And remember to have your HTML extension and to change the save as type to all files. So if we change this to, and we go to save, now you'll note that this is changed to test2, and if you look at the desktop, you see there's a next web page, test2. What we could then do is edit this test2 and change anything we want. So we could change this to how are you, and we could change this to, this is test2. Control S to save, and then you have 2 web pages. I said there were 2 ways, and the other way is to simply just click on the web page, right click, and click copy, and paste that web page there. Then you could rename it to whatever you want. So let's call this test 3. Then we could right click, open with Notepad, and we could also change this as well. This is test 3. And you could change the text. Save it, and if we open test 3, we will see new text. That's it for tutorial number 1. Remember to check out the fan page on Facebook and look out for future videos. Thanks.